So I have really just an incredible story to share with you about a boy who was named Aaron Leib, and he was 13 years old. He was born in 1934, so now we're talking 1947. He was in the United States. At this point, he was in Poland before the war, and he ended up being liberated, and he got to the United States, and he was adopted by a family, and he was trying to get to a yeshiva. He wanted to learn Torah. And every school that he applied to, the door was closed because he really knew nothing. He knew nothing about Judaism. And for him to go to a school, he would basically have to be in class with 5-year-olds because that was his level. And they just didn't feel that was very practical. And, you know, this is a boy who grew up in a community where it was expected he'd be learning Torah. And that was his plan and his hopes. But at the time when he would have been learning the Aleph base, the Hebrew alphabet, his parents were executed. And at a time when he should have been learning Talmud and Chumash and Bible, he was hiding in hay in the barn, trying not to get caught. So he, at 13 years old, when he was adopted by his family in the United States, he knew nothing about Torah and about Judaism. And but he wanted to learn. So he went to one final school, the last one. He heads in for his interview. And the head of the school, the rabbi, was very torn and very moved by his predicament, and was just so sorry that we just did not have, the facilities. America was not then what it is today. It didn't have the kind of facilities to help a 13-year-old who didn't know anything about Judaism. So the boy said, "It's okay. I understand, but if you don't mind, just if you could put this in writing for me. Just write me a note saying we could not accept you into the yeshiva, and I'd like to be buried with that note. And this way, when I get to Shemayim, when I get to heaven, God will be able to see and understand that I tried, and I tried to learn Torah, and it wasn't my fault." At which point the rabbi broke down crying. He embraced the boy and said, "We made a mistake. Please join us. We'll make it work." And sure enough, the next day, Aaron Leib came to his first day in yeshiva as a 13-year-old to be in class with 5-year-olds to learn the Hebrew alphabet. We are now many years later, and this young boy, Aaron Leib, went on to become Rabbi Aaron Leib Bergman, who still teaches Torah today in his 80s in the holy city of Jerusalem. I share this story because as we approach the holiday of Shavuos, the giving of the Torah, we each in our own lives have obstacles standing in our way to learning Torah. For example, our weekly learning, sometimes things come up, there are conflicts, there are other things drawing our attention. Perhaps we wanted to go to Israel to study in yeshiva, but maybe it was too expensive, maybe it didn't fit our career schedule or our school schedule. I'm not here to tell you that the challenges aren't real. They are. We all face genuine obstacles and challenges, and they are real. But if this 13-year-old Aaron, who lost both his parents, an orphan going through the Holocaust, was willing to sit in class with 5-year-olds in order to learn Torah, then perhaps we have the capacity to overcome our obstacles and to find a way that we too can add more Torah to our lives. So as we prepare for the upcoming holiday of Shavuos, perhaps each of us could think of ways that, number one, we could increase the quantity and quality of Torah that we learn, and number two, to not just learn the Torah, but think of ways that we can implement some of the lessons into our lives. And if we're able to do that, then we will truly be ready for Shavuos. We will truly be ready to receive the Torah. And God will be that much more excited to share his Torah with us. Thank you all so much.